Breathe, breathe, breathe. What is good, guys? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. Still a recovering Inter fan, and I don't know if you guys are 24 or more than 24 hours later now after what happened yesterday. Inter 2, Hellas, Verona 1. Welcome to a delayed match reaction. What a crazy game. How many of you guys, well, let's kick off this stream with this question, guys. In those 90 plus whatever, it ended up being like bloody 111 minutes or whatever it was. In those minutes, how many heart attacks did you have? How many heart attacks did you have? Because if a clinician was watching that game with us, they would be saying, you should stop watching this team because this team is going to be the cause of your death in one way or another, soon, slowly or quickly, because the amount of changes that happened in yesterday's match, going from happiness to sadness to confusion to happiness once again to sadness once again to confusion to happiness at the end, or to a confused happiness at the end, or even just anger at the end. I have not been through so many emotions in the Inter game since, you know which game, guys? This actually, let me bring it up. Actually, I hate talking about that game because it brings back me PTSD memories in that game. But it's the 2-1 game against Empoli in 2019, the one that we needed to win to clinch Champions League qualification in the in that time. Where is it? No, not this one. Yeah, this one here. This game here, 2-1 Empoli. It reminded me of that, drama, a goal from half line that should have been, if Barella wasn't an idiot, but then they got a penalty. Our keeper, well, more like luck, saved us in the end more than D'Ambrosio and Andanovic, but it was just like that. And maybe the 9-goal goal wasn't as late as the Frattesi one yesterday, but that was exactly the game that I got flashbacks of yesterday. But all that happened, and this was the most important thing, wasn't it, guys? This was the most important thing. The fact that we remained top of the league, which we're going to, potentially remain regardless, even with a draw. But if we lost yesterday, it would have been literally that capitulation that I know some Inter fans are kind of waiting for in the shadows. Some Inter fans are just waiting in the shadows to say like, "Oh, I knew it. Inzaghi, these guys, they don't have it. It was just going to happen. Juve, they're going to come and take it." So, yeah, it was important for that. It was important for that exact reason, that we can at least breathe now and watch the other games with a bit of a calmness, even though my heart rate, I still think it hasn't recovered. And I did watch the game live yesterday. So what happened was, I watched the game live. So let me set the scene. 11:30 kickoff, but I have to go to a family birthday party at 2:00. But the place is an hour away, so I have to leave at 1:00. So whilst and it's like a bit of a formal like birthday party, I had to like get dressed up, suit, tie. So I'm getting ready, ironing my shirt, getting ready, put my suit on, put my shirt on, and I'm doing like my tie whilst I'm watching. And then whilst I'm doing my tie, Verona score the equalizer, and I miss it because I'm like looking in the mirror on the side, and I'm like trying to do my tie up, and I'm like Inter 1-0 up, should be right. And I look over, and I'm like, oh, we conceded. And then I want to turn the tie around and squeeze it a bit tight. And then I go to the other room. I'm trying to get my hair done, and they're just getting ready, looking sharp. And then I come back, and I'm like, I see Barella doing some stupidness, and then next moment I go out of the room once again because I'm like, okay, it's like 1 minute left of the game. Like I'm sure Inter, like surely we win this. And I come back and we conceded a bloody penalty. And I watched the penalty. Now I'm like fully dressed up, but I want to like take everything off because I'm like sweating. And Thomas Henry luckily misses the penalty, and the guy afterwards misses the follow-up as well. Well, My goodness. And that's the way that I then I had to live for the rest of the day with like crazy, confused happiness for the rest of the day, but still thinking in my head, just random times in the day, like, why did I decide to support this team? Why did I choose this team out of all team? A team that is wants to kill me. These guys want to kill me. They want to kill us, you guys as well. They just can't give us stress-free wins, can they? Pazza Inter, but very, very lucky Inter, which we'll get into as well. But anyway, I think I spoke, did a bit of a long monologue at the beginning. So let me see who is in the house. 38 people. That's more than I expected for this delayed match reaction. Thank you, everyone that's coming through. Make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I've got screenshots as well from the game that I started doing yesterday whilst I was watching them, and then I rewatched a little bit of it today just to finish some bits that I missed. Nick's Knocks now, that thumbnail, wake up at 5:30. Yeah, shouts out to you guys in the Pacific coast and America and Asia, like you guys that wake up at stupid o'clock times to watch games. Because this game, yeah, if you're waking up, imagine, yeah, you wake up so early and you get given heart attack inducing football at that time, or the other end of the scale of the other end of the spectrum, you're like about to go to sleep, or you're keeping awake at stupid o'clock in the morning to watch this, then you're definitely not going to sleep after that type of game, because yeah, nearly die watching that game. What's up, Candy Cane from India? Hope you are doing well. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Arnautovic as well, of course. Big topic to cover because he was atrocious, and that's putting it mildly. Ahmad, get your heart medication ready. Pazza Inter is back. I mean, where did they ever leave, really? This season, yes, we'll definitely see less of Pazza Inter. The only real Pazza Inter game is probably the Benfica away game where we came back from 3-0 down. But yeah, they're never too far away, Pazza Inter. Even Conte tried to kick it out of us, and he couldn't do it. What's up, Matteo? What's up, Daniel? Heart Attack FC. Yeah, that should be definitely the name for Inter. Pazza Inter almost sent me to the hospital, Marcello. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone, yeah, you definitely need to take up some yoga or some meditation classes if you're supporting this team. Better late reaction than never, El Gordo. Yeah, that's true. That I definitely, sometimes I do. If I'm too busy, I skip sometimes. Life's just a bit too busy. But today, I just could not skip this reaction because I needed to get things out of my system, and I also want to get your opinions on what happened yesterday. Did you check your blood pressure? Down. Yeah, I haven't checked it, but it's a good shout, Nick Knox. We should, as Inter fans, check our blood pressure, more often, more regularly. I'm sure the doctor would recommend that. Eduardo, of course, you do a stream when I can't say. Yeah, it's mainly because of your repetitive jokes, Eduardo, about marriage points. But yeah, no, you can always watch it back. But I do appreciate the support. Member for 4 months. Look at that. Eduardo is a real one. Abdullah says 4 to 5 heart attacks. Saul Goodman says 16 at least. Yeah, we can't keep going on that, Ashraf. But the last 10 minutes were pure Pazza Inter. Yeah, it was pure madness. Because the game overall wasn't that exciting, or like there wasn't, it wasn't like an end-to-end game or loads of chances. And Inter weren't playing, Limone ball. So it was one of those, typical early kickoff games where even though it was at home, it didn't feel, it wasn't a great watch. The pitch was awful, by the way. I'm not giving an excuse to the players, but the pitch was really bad as well. Players kept slipping and they looked very bubbly as well. But yeah, the last 10-15 minutes was just absolute madness. I counted 4 heart attacks. And Mattia, yeah, I mean, if you've been following Inter for a while, you know that the Inter winter downfall is a real thing. Like, it's not just like one of those mythical things that Inter fans have made up. This is a real thing. And especially, Inzaghi, even at Lazio, his teams historically have a tendency to have a dip in the middle of the season, especially the January-February period. And that's what the period that we are in right now. It happened last year. It happened in this first season. So is it happening again? It looks like it. It does look like it, to be honest. Yeah, we're talking about 2 performances back-to-back, not very good. Genoa was awful, 1-1. Hellas Verona yesterday, probably should have been 1-1 really. And the team is starting to look a little bit tired, and maybe again Inzaghi's rotation options, playing some players too much, maybe starting to hit us in a negative way. Since the Empoli game, my goodness, that game was horrific. Yeah, I mean, I hate talking about that game, the Empoli game. It really is one of my most PTSD-inducing games of all times because of the Dalbert performance. Yeah, literally, that Dalbert performance is now Dalbert has company. That Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame performance of Dalbert in the Empoli game is now, and I have to reshare my screen. Yeah, there you go. Apologies, ready to go. Farting like internet yesterday. So let's get into the first thing I want to actually get into, guys. And again, I apologize for the connection issues, but leave a thumbs up at least. Thank you, guys, and hope to see you guys staying in the stream. There's 52 people in here. Apologies once again, but we've even got Old Heart Rossonero. Ciao Zio deserved first spot for the first half of the season and for the second half. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, of course. That's also a point. Thank you, Old Heart, for actually reminding me. We have reached a halfway point as well. So 48 points at the halfway stage, guys. That is a really, really good going. Like, if you know, get this amount of points, okay, let's double. What's 48 times 2? That's 96 points. That's what Inter are on track for this season. So that is fantastic going for a halfway stage, but you can never just like copy and paste a half season and expect the team to do the same in the second half of the season. There always will be some sort of drop off most of the time. And I expect, I don't expect Inter to have a 48-point second half of the season, but no, I'm also expecting none of the other teams to have that as well. I'm not expecting. Well, it depends what you think, but I don't think what Juve are doing is sustainable. It has been sustainable up until now. Like, we've even under Mancini, Inter has done half seasons. If you remember 2015-16, we had a really good first half of the season where Inter were even first around this stage, and then the quality of the team just wasn't good enough. This team obviously is good enough to sustain this way. It depends on what Juve, on the other hand, are doing, because you're not just fighting against yourself. You're fighting against Juve, one game a week Juve, and Allegri, terrorist Juve. So let's see what happens in the second half. But if you give me this at the beginning of the season, you tell me after 19 games, Inter have done this, 15 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 48 points. That is fantastic, and qualify out of the group stages and out of the Coppa Italia. I will bite your hand off straight away. And actually, let's see whereabouts does that rank Inter in this past decade, because that must be probably the best performance at halfway stage, right, that we've ever had in the past decade. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, look at that. Even compared to, I mean, it goes all the way back to 2011 season, so we can't compare to the Triplete Mourinho team, but in this past decade, this is the best start ever by Inter. This is even better than Conte's title winning season, which we had a weak first half in anyway. Yeah, better than Inzaghi's first season, much better than last season, obviously. So this is, and even Conte's first season, we're plus 2 points on that. So this is literally Inter's best start to the season in over a decade. So 100% big credit to Inzaghi and the team for making this happen at the beginning of the season. You told me we're doing this. Easy. Same points as Napoli this time. Yeah, I mean, it was because I made a video last week. So at 18 game point, we were exactly the same point. Let me see. Is there a way to find out? Oh yeah, I can just go on the Napoli version of this. So we've got 48 points. Let's see what Napoli, by the way, lost 3-0 today. It's confirmed now. I'm gutted because last season, I don't know if Oha Rossonero is it, Milan had the worst title defense ever, but now Napoli are like outdoing it. by much worse than what Milan did last year. So I'm kind of gutted because I wanted Milan to have the worst title defense ever. But yeah, Napoli. Oh my goodness. If I tell you guys, okay, guess how many points Napoli are below compared to last season. Have a guess, guys. Guess the amount. So it's minus something and it's double digits points. So 19 games played. You got to guess how many points Napoli had at this exact stage. Have a guess. Minus something in double digits points. Oh my goodness. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. So Ahmad says, okay, Ahmad's gone way over the top, minus 31. Language tours, minus 19. Close. Forza Inter is the closest at the moment, 21, minus 24. Matthias says 20. Nix Knox 15, 18, 18. Yeah, well, Edson, you must have just checked. So minus 22. Minus 22 is what Napoli are compared to last season. That is absolutely embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing. They have, oh my goodness, they've only scored 28 goals this year, whereas last season they already had scored 46, and they've conceded 10 more, and they've got 6 more losses as well. That's crazy. Oh no, so here you go, Ian, to answer that question. We're not at the same level as Napoli, because yeah, Napoli were on the trajectory of Napoli was 100 points, so we're not on that trajectory. We're on the 96 point trajectory. Napoli finished on 50, so we're 2 points behind Napoli last year, but yeah, not bad. I think it's just that last draw against Genoa that did us in. We've got that one more draw and they've got that one more win. But yeah, we're pretty much there on track with the Napoli's last year, which is what you need. Like, you know, that's what Napoli did. They almost replicated their first half of the season. They dropped off at the end because they won the Scudetto so early, and it was, you know, it didn't really matter. But as long as you keep that going, it doesn't matter what Juve do. As long as you keep going on that track, which is what Napoli did. They just kept going. They lost against Inter. Remember, we beat them 1-0 at San Siro after the international break, or not the international break, but you know, the Christmas break, which doesn't exist anymore. We beat them. Oh, actually, no, we did have a break last year, didn't we? We did, because everyone was saying it will be, you know, Spalletti does well when there's a break. So yeah, regardless of what Juve do, if Inter can keep up this 48 points in 19 games type of streak, I cannot see Juve getting anywhere near. You know, you end up with 90 plus points in pretty much any season that secures you the Scudetto. I think the only time that didn't happen was Sarri's Napoli, if I'm not mistaken. They were on that 90 plus track, but at that time it was Allegri, but it wasn't this Juve. It was, you know, Allegri's, the original Allegri Juve with Pogba, Dybala, Vidal, Marquise, all them ballers, Bonucci, Chiellini, Bardagli. Like, you know, that was a stacked Juve, so that was different. You know, even an almost perfect Napoli couldn't compete with that Juve. But this is a different Juve. If you can get to the 90 plus mark, I think, you know, you should be able to easily get this over the line. Oh yeah, members Q&A. So I did the community post the other day. So I'll do it later today. So after this video, I'll record my members Q&A. So thank you to all the members who did send those questions. I appreciate you guys, and I'll make it after this video. Yeah, ADL masterclass. There's really no one else to blame. I mean, yes, it is the Mazzarri effect, it is the Rudy Garcia effect, but who was in charge of hiring those guys? The guy at the top, Aurelio De Laurentiis. Well, Osimhen, he's enjoying you know, African Cup of Nations now, so he's away from all the drama. But yeah, interested to see what happens to all their top players now if they don't even make top 4. Because I thought easily, I wasn't a fan of the Mazzarri appointment, but I thought the quality of the squad, and especially how Serie A this season, the top 4 races, is so like, it sucks. Apart from Milan, who are the only one team that seems to be like kind of securing the top four. Everyone else, like Fiorentina, were top four until yesterday. Like, and it's still possible for Napoli to make it. But at this rate, I don't think they will. But I thought, when they hired Mazzari, I was like, yeah, they should be fine, right? Should be fine quality-wise. But somehow they've even managed to. I think he's actually worse than Garcia, right? Somehow. But anyway, let's get into the screenshot that I had prepared for this match. Language source says the stats certainly look great, but going in second part of the season without a striker is just scary. Yeah. I mean, no, according to Gazzetta, that's in general. I mean, I was really surprised about the Buchanan signing. I thought we didn't even have funds for that unless we sell someone. But I think, whatever funds we had left definitely went on the Tajon Buchanan signing now. So we need to make we need to make a gap in the squad. So like Sanchez wage, the whatever he earns, 2.5 million net, whatever he earns, that needs to leave the budget sheet. Or the Arnautovic, like someone needs to leave to make that budget room for that signing, and that signing can't cost money. Like you can't buy someone. It would have to be like a loan or a free transfer or a really low loan option to buy type of thing. That's the only possible thing. So Taremi type of deal is definitely out of the question. Yeah, I mean, Osimhen's definitely up for sale. Like he signed a new contract, but they put a clause in there. Was it like 120 million, 130 million? So, and I'll be surprised if he doesn't push to be sold as well afterwards. But now he's on a cushy salary as well, so he's probably he probably regrets signing that contract now because he's earning quite a lot of money. I think might be top earner in Serie A now. But does he want to be a top Serie A earner in a team that might not even make the Europa League? It might be in Conference League. I don't know. So and Kvara is the more interesting one. Kvara didn't even sign a new contract. He's still earning like 1 million or 1.2 million, I think Kvara's salary is, which is ludicrous. He didn't get a new contract after last season. So he's not got any reason to particularly stay. So I think Kvara is the one I would watch out for. Osimhen now might be stuck for at least a season after the new contract. Kvara, I think that one probably is the interesting one, even though he has the whole of Napoli's at a dip in form. 100% Spalletti was, he really shows you the worth of a coach, Spalletti. But at the same time, it's just how bad the ones after him have done. Like it shouldn't be, the drop off shouldn't be this bad at all. Like this minus 22 points is embarrassing. That team, I rate this Napoli team higher than the Scudetto winning Milan team. And that team obviously had a big drop off, but this one's had even a worse drop off. So it's definitely, the coaching decisions have been awful. So yesterday I posted in the Discord as well, if you know the news, Moggi, Juve, these guys have been going after Inter, always suing us, so trying to counter sue us about the Calciopoli scandal, this and that. Always in court, they always get slapped up anyway. And this time around, once again, they've been told they need to pay us our legal fees for all this trouble that they put us through. And they're talking about, Juve have to pay us 5 million and Moggi has to pay around 500k or something like that. So maybe that's a extra boost to the budget, maybe for that striker that we need. But let's was it 50k for Moggi? Oh, sorry, I misread. I thought it was 500k for Moggi. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get into yesterday's match. Shout out to Nasser on Twitter who made this post this morning saying good morning Interisti, +3 with a whole lot of cheeks, because Inter were cheeks yesterday, but Frattesi's cheeks saved us yesterday. Davide Frattesi coming through, saving our ass and showing his ass as well. Literally Frattasi, which is his slander name, but literally showing us Yeah, also as Italian would say che culo. So in Italian, that phrase means like, you can't directly translate it because it doesn't make sense in English, because in Italian it just means what an ass. But in Italian, having ass, if you say che culo, means like you got really lucky. So that's literally what Frattesi did yesterday. Like, Italians must have been have a field day yesterday, because he literally showed his culo, and in Italian saying you got culo means you got lucky, you got a lucky ass. But let's get into the controversy straight away. This whole drama with Duda, Duda guy falls over like a little baby, like a little bee. You know what I'm trying to say? Like a little and then when then he gets caught as usual, like the type of Busquets, the infamous Busquets or David Luiz, when you like you're diving and you're making a meal out of it, and you like do the sneaky look. I mean, this isn't even sneaky, it's literally just like got up and turned around and seeing what's happening, and whether he should return to the ground. So yes, Inter did get lucky. I'm gonna say that. I mean, my title says that Inter got lucky, guys. There's no other way around it. Inter got lucky because the goal shouldn't have not stood, because it is a foul by Bastoni. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's dirty and it should be a red card or anything like that, but if VAR takes a look at that off the ball, it's a foul. But at the same time, the penalty that was given against us as well, like, I'm going to play at the top. This is Darmian on Magnani. Yes, he kicks his foot, but look how delayed his reaction is. And then on the bottom one, Arnautovic, this is the build-up to Verona's goal. Arnautovic gets fouled by Magnani. Magnani, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm talking to you guys, he's involved both times yesterday. So all these Milan fans, Juve fans, and other teams fans that are crying, Marotta League, all this kind of stuff, within the match, everything was already balanced out. So yes, Inter got lucky in the Duda situation, because let's be real, I know it's soft what Bastoni did to Duda, but it is a foul, because he's making a meal out of it. Bastoni even hit the crossbar afterwards. Let me see if I can actually find the video that's gone viral. Yeah, here it is, the video that's gone viral of showing it from behind, because people make it look like that there was an elbow, but you can see it's not elbow. He just shoves him, and then his follow through is kind of like looks like he elbowed him, but in reality he just shoves Duda from the side, and he's just making an absolute meal out of it. But that is the situation that, soft or not soft, VAR should have took a look at it and cancelled the goal. That's the truth, because that happened to Juve earlier on this season. Moise Kean scored a great goal, but in the build-up to it, he was defending the ball, and he did this, hit the guy in the face, and then 10 seconds later he went on to score from the goal. But then VAR called it back because it was a foul, and so this is also a foul. So we got lucky in that instance, but afterwards we didn't get lucky, because, as I said, Arnautovic, that was a foul on him from Magnani. So the goal that Verona scored shouldn't have stood, or shouldn't have happened in the first place, because there was a foul on him. And then even the penalty, I agree, Darmian kicks, you can see he kicks Magnani just under his foot, but then Magnani's he plants his foot, so he got kicked, but he plants it fine, and afterwards he falls, theatrically dives, and then we got lucky. Then the gods of football, of San Siro, of whatever, came and saved our ass, because Thomas Henry, from his penalty, hit the post. And then actually, not as bad. The penalty wasn't that great, but the follow-up was always even as bad, because the guy, I don't know who it was, he tries to follow up with his head, and then goes completely wide. That probably was even a worse miss than the actual penalty from Henry. So we did get really lucky. I'm not gonna deny it. But yeah, Marotta League forgot about Arnautovic for a last minute penalty again. It was a stupid foul by it was a stupid foul, DiMarco, from Darmian. I have to give that, because especially Darmian, this is the type of thing that you expect from like Dumfries. We've seen that. Remember the Alexandro penalty against Juve, or like, these kind of moments like that. You could expect that maybe from someone like DiMarco, or Bisek, someone young. But from Darmian, I would expect a bit better. But at the same time, as much as he did catch the guy's foot, it was a very, very soft penalty. Very, very soft penalty. So Ian says Ethan, the Bastoni one is a foul. But so is the foul on Arnautovic before their first. Verona goalkeeper, 2 hands on. Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh yeah. I bookmarked that as well. So in the build up to the second goal, Lautaro was given a handball, like the free kick that led to the penalty. Lautaro, he didn't even do it. Wasn't even a handball. Let me pull that up, because I bookmarked it on, and I hope I don't get copied, marked, or copyrighted or whatever, but it is what it is. I want to show you guys. So you see it hits. So yeah, Lautaro goes up. So maybe in the referee's view, he thinks that it hit his hand, but actually it bounces straight off Lautaro's foot, and he's given handball on that. So we got done over on both of their goals. So anyone that needs to moan, or wants to moan and cry, you be my guest. But in this match, things definitely leveled out. And Inter, yes, got lucky, but you can't say that Inter were given more than they should have in this game, because things happened for Verona. Both, well, it could have been 2 goals for them. And then, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, I don't have that here. Maybe let's see if I just type it in. Frattesi using the dark arts. Of course, if someone like, he's a little bit, I can see he's going to become a little bit like our Theo Hernandez type of guy, the Quadrado. Frattesi, I think he's going to be the guy that's other fans are not going to like, because he definitely, wears his heart on the sleeve. Has, he's a little bit outspoken, or he has a bit of moments in games, when against Milan he was doing the, giving them the score line. So I think, he's a little bit of a C-word player, which I see other teams fans definitely gonna, yeah, here it is, I found it. Other teams fans are definitely gonna take a disliking to. But every team needs one. Every team, like you see here, he's gonna go and scuff up the penalty spot a little bit. I don't know how much difference that made, but maybe Henry saw that. Maybe that got into his head. Maybe just the action of doing that worked, because it didn't seem like he actually took up much turf there. But every team has a C word, or needs a C word type of player. Yeah, even Ahmad here. Every team needs a player like that, and I can see. Yeah, scumbag type of player, Ian. He's definitely that guy. We really haven't had that. I mean, Lautaro does it in kind of those ways that he can dive a little bit and win some fouls and things like that. But we haven't really had a guy like this who can Frattesi can rile up rivals, like other players and also other fans. He's a little bit of that type of character. And I'm happy for him, Frattesi. He's the one that got the winning goal. And I'm so happy, because Arnautovic was also the one. If you see, Arnautovic is just as close to him in the follow-up to the shot. I think Barella shoots on goal, Montipo saves. And Frattesi, I mean, really, like, we've joked that maybe we should turn this guy into a striker, but he really has, like, very natural, almost striker-like instincts. Like, his movement and his kind of just sniffing of chances and where the ball is going to fall is really, really like a striker. And I'm so glad that, because I can imagine Arnautovic from the day he was having yesterday, that he might have missed it. He might have missed it, to be honest. Oh wow, Ahmad says he was even offside, maybe. So yeah, it's really good that he didn't get to that. Nah, today I'm just showing the videos, Ahmad. I'm just it is what it is. If I get copyright, it is what it is. I mean, half my stream was bloody stopped by the internet anyway, so I'll take my chances today. But I'm really, really happy for Frattesi, and I hope, again, this time it worked out. But he needs to start getting subbed in earlier in games. What's really the point of Inzaghi subbing him on so late in games? He needs to get more minutes. I even, wanted him to start this game, really, Frattesi, ahead of Barella. What's funny, Beppe from Gigi TV also claimed that Sommer's foot was 1 centimeter off the line during penalty. Oh, yeah, I mean, Beppe's my friend, but he's completely off this because that's also been disproven, the Sommer thing. Let me pull that up. Look at this edit. This is what Juve fan think what happened. This is what they think happened with the Sommer penalty, but hilarious. But let's find it. That thing was this. I mean, first of all, it doesn't even matter because Sommer didn't save the penalty. He didn't interact with the penalty, so it doesn't even matter if Sommer was off the line. So they need to learn. They need to learn the rules in terms of that first. What the hell is this? Oh, Sommer Ray, I guess. Oh God. No, we're getting the wrong Sommer. Not this one. We're getting the wrong one. Errori arbitrali. I might get banned just for this now. Oh yeah, here. So they actually, even though it wouldn't even mattered, the Juve fans are using a screenshot that was before Henry hit the ball. So you have to see where Sommer's fall was after Henry hit the ball. And after Henry hit the ball, as you can see, Sommer's heel is touching the line. But anyway, it doesn't even matter, again, because he didn't save it. It would only matter if he saved it, if he saved the goal, if he saved the penalty. But he went the completely wrong way. So Juve fans are really, really clutching at straws. And they were saying, over the last few days, because of the Allegri, mind games, you saw Cherby's post-match comments after the Genoa game, it seemed like maybe the pressure was starting to get to Inter, and Juve fans were saying, Inter fans, Inter players are starting to feel the pressure. But this seems like, Juve fans are clutching at straws now. They want, any little thing they're trying to bring up and say, Marotta League, this, that. But honestly, it's desperation, really, really desperation. Yeah, I mean, San Siro's always, the problem is, two teams sharing a pitch is just always going to end up like this, and I don't think it's even maintained properly. You can see even in this picture, look at that state of it. Look at the state of Sommer's area, and the penalty box is just, it looks like Sunday League. I've seen my local pitches here in Leicester. Sunday League pitches look better than this. Really, really bad. It definitely did affect the game. You see Cherby and Di Marco. Yeah, I think that one, I saw Cherby commented on Instagram as well. I think it was kind of like, spur of the moment thing. I don't think they meant it at Henry like that, because I saw Cherby did a comment and said, it wasn't meant in that way. Maybe Di Marco was, because Di Marco, again, he's speaking of Frattesi, I think Di Marco's got that little bit of that thing about him as well, a little bit, but not as bad, not as much as Frattesi. But yeah, I don't know about Di Marco, but Acerbi definitely didn't mean to do it like that. He's, Acerbi's he's an old school guy, about respect and all those types of things. I don't think he would do it in that way. But I did see it. That was funny. Yeah, that's what I mean. Di Marco probably meant it directly Henry. Maybe, yeah, you don't know what they've been saying to each other. Maybe Henry was talking shit to Di Marco. But yeah, those last 10-15 minutes will go down in history. We will remember this game for many, many years to come, especially if it ends up, at the end of the season. If Inter win the Scudetto, we will remember. We'll come back to this when we do our match review, season reviews, or even, in 2, 3, 4 years' time. We'll always go back to this game and say that PAZZA Inter game against Hellas Verona, that was one of the turning points of the season. Because I think, a win like this is ugly, it's lucky, maybe even undeserved, but these are the types of wins, guys, that win you Scudetto. Like, when Milan won the Scudetto, you can just, it's hard to say, but you could just feel it in the air. Like, you didn't want to say it, but little decisions going Milan's favor. Inter Bologna, aside of the Radu gate and the own goal, the Bologna goal came from that foul that should have been on Perisic. They scored after that. Foul wasn't called, even though it was a clear foul by Soriano and Perisic. Like, there's little things that happen in the season where you just know there's like a wind blowing in a certain direction. And for now, at the moment, it does feel like Inter, even when we're not playing well, there are certain things that are going our way up until now. But we just have on the other side, we have Juve as well. Allegri's Juve is like the you say the unmovable object versus the what is it? Unmovable object and what? Yeah, let me search up unmovable object versus unstoppable force. Yeah, that's the one. Unstoppable force versus unmovable object. That's at the moment Inter and Juventus. You got Allegri's voodoo, terrorismo, cortomuso, and then you got Inzaghi, limone ball, nice, all this kind of stuff. But also, some decisions going our way, some dodgy stuff that happens as well to our favor. But let's see in the second half of the season how things go. I love the image of Frattesi with Juve and Milan badges on the cheeks. Oh, I haven't seen that one. That's definitely a good good Photoshop. I can just see it in my head. Yeah, exactly. That's what the game I was talking about, Kirby, at the beginning of the stream. The Empoli game. It reminded me of the Empoli game. Anyway, let's get into the actual game in total, because I did prepare from yesterday. I already had like screenshots prepared whilst I was watching the game. I just didn't get time to do the post-match reaction straight afterwards. The alarm bells were ringing straight away from early on. Inter, arrogant. That's the word that comes to mind. Arrogant or just overconfident that they weren't going to get the result because it's at home. Hellas Verona struggling. I mean, even me, remember my pre-match preview, because I thought Hellas Verona selling so many of their main players, their most important players, that they're just going to be too affected. And I predicted a 3-0 win, which was, far from the truth. But it seemed like Inter went into the game thinking that they're going to easily win 2-3-0. But it wasn't to be. Bastoni struggled against Ngonj on that left-hand side. He was having him on toast a couple of times. And 2 minutes in, he goes past Bastoni and Ngonj, crosses it into Suslov, who had already a decent chance on goal. And Zoma was there reactive. It wasn't like, clear-cut opportunity or anything like that. I think it was only like 0.2 XG, but that's good opportunity for a team like Hellas Verona to create. And the alarm bells were ringing straight away that Inter were not quite on it. And then again here, Chaun, I think they're right back. Actually, want to keep an eye on 21-year-old Belgian guy played right back for them. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. Actually, Hellas Verona in general, I shit talked them before the game, but actually it seems like they're going a lot younger and moving in a different direction. Verona, they're actually kind of interesting. Some of the players in there, like Suslov himself and Gondra, obviously we already know about, but interesting few profiles. But even here, Milan Djuric is probably, not even exaggerating, the best player in the air in Serie A. This guy has got the highest aerial win percentage. He's a giant, and he dominates in the air here. He beats Dumfries in the air from this cross. And luckily, the header was very central, straight at Zoma. But to the side of Zoma, this is potentially a goal, because he's very good with his headers. So we got let off here. We were 1-0 up here, but again, this game, there was a few moments of lackadaisical lack of concentration from Inter. But there were also really, really good moments, like this one here. Some of the interplay, some of the build-up play was really, really good. In general, the final third play was awful. Like the build-up and the midfield, things were like looking good, and then things would just break up as soon as we get towards the last third. But in this one, really, really good. Bastoni ball to Thuram. Thuram, lovely little layoff to Mkhitaryan, who's making that third man run off the ball. And then his assist reminded me of like Mkhitaryan back in his Borussia Dortmund days. This is the types of situations or position Mkhitaryan used to pick up again in Dortmund. He was the guy behind Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He was that attacking midfielder in the 4-2-3-1, in Klopp's 4-2-3-1. You know, that exciting Dortmund team with him, Gundogan, Kagawa, Mkhitaryan, Royce, Aubameyang. Like, that was a really nice team to watch. Mkhitaryan had like there was one season where he won Bundesliga Player of the Year. He had like double digits goals and assists. And yeah, what a lovely assist this was, because he dragged that defender over. Initially, that defender was marking Lautaro, but Mkhitaryan doesn't make it obvious that he's going to pass in that space to Lautaro. He kind of disguises the pass really nicely, and then Lautaro is just ice cold killer. Like, he's one shot, one goal. Amazing finish with the outside of his foot as well. So good and bad from Inter in that first half. And then there was also lots of other chances where Inter could have created more. So this was one of those games where Inter got into a lot of good positions, as I said, but in the attacking third, things would just break down. Carlos Augusto had a bit of a stinker. To be honest. Let me pull up some of the match ratings. Oh, Salernitana playing Juventus, by the way, at the moment, 0-0 for now, but I doubt they're going to be able to hold on for long. Let me pull up the player ratings, because just to go through. I mean, he got given a 7 here, Carlos Augusto, but I really didn't think he had a good game. Struggled. Look at that, 0 out of 5 crosses. Every time he got into these like dangerous situations. I mean, here you got to give credit to the right back, as I said, Chauna, really good block, sliding to like block the cross, really, really good. But in general, Augusto messed up every time he got into the final half. You can see no duels as well, one of his aerial duels, but he didn't really offer too much, only 68% pass completion as well. Yeah, he got given a 7 here, but I thought he struggled. I thought he didn't have a good game. And then even other players as well. Wait, let me have a quick look at your comments before we continue. That end had so many emotions. Wow, celebration for the Frattesi goal, followed by me throwing my hat to the floor over the pen and back to, yeah, literally so many emotions. Every human emotion you can have, Inter gave it to us. Acerbi, yeah, I mean, I talked about that in my preview, didn't I? Like, I'm worried about Acerbi getting overworked, and I think he was one of the worst players, Acerbi. There was one moment, again, I'm just going to show the video now because I've already showed enough videos anyway, so who cares? I'm just going to show it. This moment here, when there's a ball over the top, and look how slow Acerbi is getting to the ball. Like, it's literally like a snail moving. But he's just overworked. Yeah, he's getting worked to dust like Dzeko, as Matthias says. So De Vrij really needs to come back into the team. I hope he is ready to come back, because Acerbi deserves and needs, not just deserves or needs, he deserves and needs a rest. Carlos Astinco. Yeah, I don't know, Cartel. I disagree. I just didn't think he was that good. Another player, I mean, pretty much everyone, I would say, had a pretty bad game. I think Lautaro and Thuram had a good first half, so I would save them two just because they had a really good first halves, Lautaro and Thuram, but both of them dropped off in the second half. But Hakan, once again, I don't know how we got given 7.5 here, probably just because of pass completion and, his usual, set piece chance creation, but he was not good today, Hakan. He only 82% pass completion, which is not that good from the Regista position. It should be always above, 85, 90% really in that position, just because you're the guy that just keeps things ticking. Even his shooting wasn't as good today. Look at that crossing. Even long balls, only 6 out of 11. He made 8 recoveries, but only one out of 4 duels. It wasn't a good game from Hakan. And Barella as well. I don't really get how Barella got given 7.5. He was frustrating yesterday. There were some really nice moments. There were some moments where he clipped the ball really nicely over to like Augusto a couple of times, like first time volley, like some real high quality moments that we obviously expect from Barella, but then there were really like some moments of stupidity like that. I mean, I know it wouldn't have counted, but the fact that he did not pass it, he didn't shoot, it chose to pass to Sanchez in that. There's something wrong. Like, I know obviously we've talked about Barella, off the pitch stuff has affected him over the last year or so that we didn't know what was going on, and now we do know what was going on, but still he looked low on confidence in terms of shooting as well, even though he scored recently. That Napoli goal he scored against the other game as well. After that, he's been in good form, getting more contributions recently, so I would think his confidence will be coming back, but he gets into really good positions and he doesn't shoot. I'm not even talking about the last one, which was most obvious, but even in other half shooting chances where usually you see Barella just have a, try a rocket or just try and shoot and goal. There's something still not quite there with Barella. That is, he isn't back to his old levels still. So I really disagree with all these ratings here, bottom up, because obviously Mkhitaryan is going to get boosted up because of the assist, which was a nice assist, but even him, very up and down game. And you can see like a lot of little points that are maybe pointing to the team getting a bit tired, because you see here ground duels, Mkhitaryan 1 out of 5, Hakan, what was it, 1 out of 4? Yeah, 1 out of 4. Let's see Barella a bit better, 5 out of 10. But again, we're losing a lot of duels, which is to me like kind of showing that the team is maybe like starting to get to that stage, which is why we have this winter, we call it the inter-winter depression or whatever. It's kind of the sign of like the team starting to feel a bit of fatigue, and the legs are starting to get maybe a little bit heavy from all the football that's been played until now. That's the thing. Defensively he's not bad at all, Carlos, and he's played some good games at left centre back, but we need a little bit more going forward from Augusto, especially when Di Marco's not there. He should be like trying to grab the chance with both hands and try to give Di Marco a competition for that spot. Anyway, I'll save this the Arnautovic. We'll get to that. Nobody can blame Acerbi for his last few games. I don't blame him, but it's on Inzaghi. This is like on Inzaghi, to be honest, at the moment, because he does need a rest. Really is. I would not have imagined this. I would not have imagined that Arnautovic and Sanchez both combined are like worse than Correa, which we didn't think was possible. I thought Acerbi did okay on the move. Obviously, his pace is sharp, but his positioning wasn't bad, and he did force the guy away from goal. No, in the end, it was okay. It was just, it's just one of those things that stood out. That moment, it was like, quite early on in the game, and you can just see he was just fighting for his life. But of course, nothing came of that opportunity anyway. So let's continue with the screenshots. Barella, this is like one of those moments we'll get into their final half. And here, he's trying to link up with Lautaro and he completely misjudges the pass here. Like, this is like 2 or 3 meters off Lautaro, a bit of a misunderstanding. Maybe he's expecting Lautaro to come more into the space. But he had a lot of these types of moments, Barella, yesterday, where he would alternate really good moments with moments like these. And it was Inter in general. I'm not just picking on Barella here. It was, Mkhitaryan, Hakan, Thuram, all of the guys. As soon as they would get into this types of situation here near their box, we would just have a complete brain fart and things would just break down. But as I said, Thuram first half, wow, he was back to a bit of form because he's been struggling. We are going to get to slander Arnautovic, but I am going to say that last 2 games before the Verona, Arnautovic played better than Thuram. Lecce, not just because of the assist, the total game, Lecce and against Genoa as well, Arnautovic was better than Thuram. But yesterday, obviously, that cameo ruined everything. But yesterday looked like Thuram returned to form. Look at this. Look at the clock, guys. 31, 28 at the edge of our box from a set piece of Verona. And look at now, 31-38. In 10 seconds, we go from the edge of our box to their box with no passes. This is just Thuram running on his own in 10 seconds. Like, this is so nice to have the ability to do this, and this is what Thuram adds to this team. And it's just amazing. When he does this, it's just like you get, you know, those tingles, because it's just so good to see, especially this Inter team over the last few years. We really, you know, we haven't really had a player like this. I know like Correa scored one goal similar to this against Sampdoria that one time. If you guys remember that one, where he shoots, he starts on the edge of the box and shoots from outside the box. But I think it was like a 3-0 goal. As usual, it was like, you know, Correa scoring when it didn't really matter. But aside from that, you know, Thuram is providing these types of moments quite regularly, and it's so good to watch. And he does really seem to play better now. That's magically that Lautaro's back in the team. He's playing better as well. It seems like he hasn't had that connection with neither Sanchez or Arnautovic. He seems to have only that connection for now with Lautaro, because without Lautaro, he's just really struggling. Yeah, exactly. And it seems like he does need Lautaro. 1-0 Salernitana. Well, yeah, I'm not going to get excited yet. Way too early to get excited. I do not trust Salernitana at all. We are saving the Arnautovic slander right until the end. There was a quick moment of Dumfries. Looked like he had a bit of an injury, and even I think he was substituted for Darmian around the 61st minute. He has just come back from injury. I hope he didn't have a great game, Dumfries, to be honest, but I hope he hasn't got injured again, because at this stage of the season we really need everyone to be fit. That Supercoppa that's coming in a few 10 days or so. There's going to be 2 games, not just, maybe 2 games, at least 1 game, probably 2 games extra that are really not that important for Inter. So we really need all hands on deck, all the rotation possible, and hopefully Inzaghi using that. So I hope Dumfries is okay. He did play on after this. This was the 20th minute. He subbed around the 60th, but you could see when he came off that it was, he still was kind of wincing a little bit. So hopefully it's nothing serious. But Tajan Buchanan was in the crowd. He was looking over. Oh, imagine being Buchanan, and this is the first Inter game that you watch live. Let me see if I can find that picture of him in the crowd, because that is your introduction to Inter. That is hilarious, isn't it? Oh, I can't seem to find it. But yeah, you know. Oh wait, I think Alessandro posted it. Let's see if I can find it quickly. No, it's the wrong Alessandro. Come on. So, quick look. Oh my god, these Frattesi pictures celebrating, and just he really is like one of those players that really gasses. Yeah, here he is, Buchanan. I mean, yeah, he must be thinking like, wow, this is what I signed up for, this kind of, heart attacks and crazy. But yeah, welcome. This is this is probably the best game to introduce someone to Inter. Like, if you had to introduce someone to Inter, this is probably one of the games that you might use just to show, like, what to expect. You give them the realistic expectation. You don't show them, the 4-0 against Fiorentina or the 5-1 against Milan. You should show him that. But you should also show him Inter versus Empoli, this Inter Verona now, Inter Lazio, the other Champions League clincher. Those are the types of crazy Inter games over the years that might turn a doubter into a believer if you're into that kind of masochism, sadism. He did look shaken. We will have a hard time selling Dumfries if he gets injured again. Yeah, exactly, for that reason as well. He had a really good start to the season where his stock was going up again. So we need him to have that, especially now that it looks like he's not signing his contract. Buchanan is there. Darmian signed his extension. We've got Bisa coming through. So that right-hand side, Dumfries was always my number one guy to sell anyway. But now with the contract situation, with the Buchanan signing, definitely it has to be Dumfries, and we need him to have a little bit of a pickup in form to try and sell him for as much as possible. Yeah, no, Stanislav, 100%. We can't live very long supporting this stupid team. What is this? Oh yeah, this is the one where it looked like Inter went 2-0 up. Actually, one point I also wanted to make is like this Inter team, the arrogance is kind of like, usually in these types of games, I would always say before the game as well, that the most important thing is get the early goal, because you know that Verona are going to defend deep, they're going to frustrate you and all that kind of stuff. But I think sometimes with this Inter team, it gives into that arrogant, makes you arrogant or overconfident, because you get that early goal and they were just kind of dwindling on that 1-0 lead for like the whole game, whereas they should have been going for 2-0, 3-0 with that killer instinct. So it's almost like a curse. It's like a blessing and a curse in the same way. But obviously, if it was 2-0, I think then it would be completely different. Then I think Verona would have given up. But here, Acerbi was just slightly offside for this goal. But I think if that one went in, it probably would have been game over. But it didn't. And that's when I think Hellas Verona gained their confidence for once again. Oh, here's injured again. Jeez, this guy. This is what I mean when you players after an ACL. Thiago Giallo, who looks like he's going to Juve now. He's coming off an ACL. You always have to be careful from guys who've come off their ACLs. Their body's always compensating or overcompensating in other areas after that injury. Okay, now let's get into... We've been waiting to slander Arnautovic the whole game. But my goodness, that was the cameo from hell, Arnautovic. And as Language Towards it says, he was pro Arna. Could have been such a romantic story where he comes back home, shows class, but I have to admit, I would swap him for Correa now. And that is the crazy thing. Like, a lot of people are having seriously this, the fact that this is even a conversation that you want to bring Correa back, that shows how badly things are going with Arnautovic. And even me, he wasn't like, my dream signing, or even I wouldn't have even gone for this guy. But when we signed him and then we put him in my scout report, I said, okay, 10 million is definitely too much money. His injury history, big red flag. But I said, if he's fit, I think Arnautovic is going to perform and he's going to provide, contribution. He's going to be a good signing. But at the moment, no, I was completely wrong, because this guy really hasn't. He's got injured, which we expected. That's affected his performances. But then even when he had the goal against Genoa. He had that winning assist against Lecce as well. You would think the confidence is now, returning to a guy like Arnautovic. But he's like performing like a young 18, 19-year-old that like he comes onto the pitch and he seems like he's really suffering. And this is what I mean when people are saying like, when you sign players from like lower teams, you see what Mbala, let me give an example. Enzola right now at Fiorentina. I remember last year, a lot of people were saying Inter should sign Enzola to be the backup. Or, I remember a few years ago that Simi Nwankwo from Salernitana, he had a season where he scored, 18, 20 goals. Like, it was a crazy season. Like, these guys, is different playing for a Bologna, a Salernitana, a Spezia. But once you come to Inter and you come to the San Siro and you don't perform one game and the crowd gets on your back and you feel the pressure, that's it. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. Like, it takes a special kind of player to be able to take that. Like, we've seen, so San Siro has swallowed so many careers over the years. Talented players that we thought, are good players, but once they come to the San Siro, it just swallows you up. Like Gagliardini, before he came to Inter, remember, he was up and coming talent, but completely swallowed up. Jean Mario, who now we know is a good player, but it took him years after that to recover mentally from being a flop at Inter. so many names over the years of guys. The Correa himself, after coming off 2 great seasons at Lazio, comes to Inter, and he's even at Marseille now. I thought he would have some sort of recovery at Marseille. He's like disintegrated mentally, physically, like in all types of ways. Like, it's always difficult. Like, it's easy to have a nice streak at a team like these mid-table teams. Like, people like Colpani was having. Remember this Colpani guy at Monza? Was it for like 2 months? He had like an amazing streaks, and then he scored like 6 goals. But now, what's he done over the last 2 months, Colpani? Nothing. It's like, it's these kind of. That's why I like to watch players over at least like a season. Like, give me a season. Like, people start, even this Xerxes guy now. Bologna were having a couple of great months, and then now last couple of games he hasn't done anything at all, and Bologna have been been losing last few games as well. Like, you gotta give I want to like give players some time, like watch players over a period of time before 2 games and like, oh, Inter need to spend 40 million on this guy, or this guy is ready for Inter. Like, it's different. It's a different level playing for Inter, and I think Arnautovic is showing that. I thought at age, when you come at Inter at 34 years of age, maybe it's different, because obviously when he was younger, he was not ready for Inter. He was completely, and he admitted himself he wasted his opportunity at Inter. But now after he was a leader at Bologna. He's also, let's not forget, top scorer for Austria. I know it's not like a top national team, but it's Austrian national team, and he's the all-time top scorer for them. Always starts. I think he's the vice captain after David Alaba. So you're not talking about a complete bum here. But this is what Inter. This is what Inter does to you, and this was a disaster class for the ages. The Arnautovic cameo yesterday. And I think Inzaghi, first of all, needs to stop subbing off Thuram. Like, even if Thuram has a bad game, Thuram just needs to stay on, especially if you're going to bring on like Sanchez or Arnautovic. I think if you're going to bring on Arnautovic or Sanchez, bring them on top of Lautaro, and especially if you're chasing the game. You wouldn't do that obviously if you're winning, but if you're chasing the game, do what you did yesterday in terms of bring on Sanchez. And I think we played a 4-3-1-2 yesterday because I saw Frattesi when he came on. He did this sign when he was coming on. He did the 4-3-1-2. So I think Inter played a 4-3-1-2 after Inzaghi brought on Sanchez and Frattesi and stuff. But Arnautovic yesterday was Lukaku versus Monza, Lukaku versus Man City. Like, it was one of those real disaster classes for the ages. And here, actually, I'm gonna slightly defend him, that people are saying that he stopped the ball from going in, where in fact the ball was actually going out. I've got the wrong angle here, but there is an angle from behind that shows the ball, because Montipo saves it, Montipo parries it, and it was going wide. So I have to defend him slightly here, because I know he is the scapegoat of this game, quite rightly. Even I'm anti-scapegoat, but in this game, you have to insult him. This one, I can't lie. But in this case here, he was really unlucky, because Montipo saves it, parries it onto him, behind him, and he unfortunately is already ahead of the ball, and he stops it rather than being able to direct it in. But I have to just slightly protect him here, because you have to, facts is facts. The ball wasn't going in, so he didn't stop the ball from going in. He just didn't score. So yeah. If anyone is a betting man, I'm not, but probably is smart money on betting Juve to win. Now, was that the same guy? Simi got 20 goals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the Simi guy. Simi Nwankwo, Nigerian skinny tall striker, who's having, like, there's loads of guys. Even with I was saying this with the Kvara last season as well. I think someone said it here too. Yeah, like Edson said it. But Kvara at least proved it over the whole season, even though after like March he completely died off. But I always say, like, give someone like one full season, but even that is not even really enough, because Belotti is a perfect example of that. Belotti is literally a one-season wonder. I've never really liked Belotti. I've always thought maybe it could be a good like backup striker for a team like Inter, but I've never rated him just because that 20 plus goal season. You got to have a bigger sample size to judge players. And like more time goes on, the more I'm convinced of that I just struggle to jump on trains so quickly. Like, you know, as mentioned, this like Colpani, I need to watch more of this Colpani guy, because we've got Valentin Carboni in that same position, who could potentially become a mezzala as well. So why would you want to spend 15, 20 plus million on a guy like Colpani? I want to see more. But yeah, the other one, which I haven't screenshotted here, but I did tweet about it. I could not believe my eyes. That was the real bad one. I don't know why this one went more viral, because this, as I said, he didn't stop it from going in. He just got really unlucky. The one that should have gone viral, let me find it because I posted it on my Twitter, was that missed header. Where is it? Here. Because that was absolutely there. This is completely undefendable, because Acerbi does amazingly well. He like clips it over to him and they're perfectly looping. So it's like, and he's like taller than both of the defenders there. He's in the perfect position and he's just like completely misjudges it. Look at his like body shape as well. He's like hunched over. I don't know what he's in front of goal. You don't even need to like bend over. You just need to like just jump straight up and just tap it in. But he decides to do some next shit and completely fluffs his line. This is the real bad one. This is the completely undefensible one. And this is when the San Siro after this one was like starting to boo him. And I hope it's not. And that's the thing is always San Siro. It happened to Correa. Once the crowd starts to boo you, which will happen to Correa, every time Correa would come on, he would be booed. So mentally, Correa wasn't a strong guy mentally at all. So as soon as he comes on, he hears the boos and that's it. That's a wasted substitution, 15, 20 minutes of nothing from Correa because he's getting booed. He can't recover from it. He'll have a shit touch and that's it. Nothing. Arnautovic seems a little bit stronger mentally in terms of that, although at Inter right now, his body language is not showing it. He's usually, you know, very bravado, macho kind of guy, you know, gives those kind of fake Ibra vibes. Thinks of him like, you know, you can see he carries himself, thinks he's like the big man, but the way he's playing at Inter right now, it seems like mentally he's not really all there, and he's getting affected by it. Inter gonna make a wish for Arnautovic. Yeah, really, we are. And yeah, we're coming close to the end of this video, guys. We're really 1 hour 17 minutes we've been going. My voice is about to run out. Let me see. Oh no, I don't have any more screenshots. Yeah, he looks very fragile mentally, which is really surprising because you'd expect it from like a 19, 20-year-old. I wouldn't expect it from Arnautovic, an experienced guy who's, you know, already been at Inter and thought he would know how to handle it. Totally agree. This one I really thought was awful. Totally missed time to jump. Yeah, this was a really, really bad one. Yeah, I think that again, the Correa that we saw at Inter, I would say this Arnautovic is still better. No, okay, not yesterday's Arnautovic. That was really bad, but the Arnautovic that at least I saw against Lecce and against Genoa is better than the Correa that because with Correa we had the 2 year of like we've got enough time span, guys. With Correa, come on, we had 2 whole seasons. With Arnautovic, we're talking about 1.5 season for now. So I'll still take him over Correa, definitely, 100%. Sanchez, on the other hand, oh my goodness. Sanchez, on the other hand, he looks completely useless once again. He looks completely useless. I don't know if you saw today, Arturo Vidal spoke out and said, I don't know why Sanchez went back to Inter. I told him not to go. The coach doesn't rate you. He is stubborn. He should be, you know, playing regularly. Go, bro. We all want you to go. We all want him to go. We didn't want him back. I accepted him because I thought at least this will be an upgrade on Correa, but he wasn't even on that. So very, very happy to just let him go. Oh yeah, these are the guys I was telling you. They were waiting in the shadow. Mattia was waiting in the shadow with an evil smile, like told you. If Inter lost this game or drew this game, he was like, I knew it. Juve were coming back in. But yeah, to be honest, I'm ready to predict a draw away to Monza. I think we're going to draw that game because this Inter team looks like they're struggling. And then we've got that Supercoppa after the Monza game as well, which is really don't need. But it is what it is. So yeah, difficult times up ahead. So hopefully Salernitana can do something. Really, really hope Salernitana can do something. Arna was bad with a lot of the younger players. Other had been terrible. Home midfielders. Yeah. No, the whole team yesterday wasn't really good. The first half, Arnaut, Lautaro and Thuram, I think, were probably our best players. Pavard was good as well. Pavard was good. But the rest of the team were pretty poor in the second half. Everyone was really bad. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, Salernitana can continue with their win at the moment. But I don't really have high hopes. It's halftime. I'm sure Juve will throw on some random youth player now that these NPC youth players that they're bringing up out of nowhere, scoring goals, and they'll end up getting a draw or a win at least. So, not holding my breath. But thank you guys. 1 hour 20 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna have to do the members Q&A tomorrow, guys. Thank you already for the questions. So yeah, if you've got any members that want to have submit more questions, you can submit them now because I'll do it tomorrow because my voice is about to go. I've been speaking for too long. And I want to watch the second half for you with Salernitana. But thank you guys all that tuned in. Hope you guys enjoyed. Apologies about the internet cutting out in the middle of the stream. I'll try to edit it out afterwards. Ciao ragazzi. Always Forza Inter. Even if they're always trying to give us a heart attack and even if they're always trying to kill us, this is the team. Halfway point, 48 points. Hope I'll sign for exactly the same second half of the season. If we can copy and paste this half of the season to the next one, I'll take it. Whatever happens in Champions League, I'll take it as long as we get that second star. Ciao ragazzi, always Forza Inter.